Welcome to the Bleacher Bums Podcast, episode 6. If you are new here, my name is Aubrey, and I'm here with Colton Tanner.
Hi, Aubrey.
Cheers,
What's up,
guys.
Aubrey? Cheers,
Hey,
guys.
cheers.
Happy hump day.
Yes.
Happy
Hump
hump
day.
day.
Hump day.
Number 6, like Baker Mayfield. First 6 to come into my mind.
Yes.
Backwards hat kind of guy.
Mm.
Same. Colin Cowherd probably doesn't think very highly of me right now. Not that he watches this, but a backwards hat kind of, that's not his kind of guy.
No. I don't know. Guess we'll see. But we have a lot of exciting things to cover. Starting with March Madness. It's officially over. I'm actually very, very sad about that. I kind of wish we could just start it all again and see if as much crazy type of thing, as many types of crazy things, I don't know,
Right.
would happen. I have no idea. But I think one thing that's definitely something that people are going to remember for a very long time is that overtime buzzer beater hit by Suggs to beat UCLA and take Gonzaga to the national championship.
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing when that happened?
I can tell you exactly what I was doing. Like that's exactly
Yeah,
what it is.
like,
One of those
yeah.
moments
exactly.
where you can say exactly where you were. I was at Bronson Beer Hall in Arlington, Virginia,
with
Aubrey,
Yours truly.
with her sister Olivia,
yes.
and 2 other of Aubrey's and I's friends, Sarah and Kathy, and we were there for a while. So we were pretty boozed up by the time that game was coming to an end, and we were sharing like a picnic table kind of inside with another group. One guy was betting on Gonzaga, one guy was betting on UCLA, and I just remember who's the guy in UCLA that made the shot at the very end? Juzang. Made that shot, and 3 seconds left, and they inbounded the ball super quick, and they weren't really defending.
No, they weren't at all.
And Suggs got the ball, and he put it up, and boom, and it felt so good to be in a bar.
Yes.
And the crowd goes crazy. It gave me life. I feel like we're slowly getting back.
Yes, we're coming back.
Sports
Those are
are
always
back.
the best. Those are always
Yes.
the best ones. Like, I don't know. It was a couple years ago. Like, Houston lost to Michigan on a buzzer beater, I believe, in like the second round of the tournament. And it was a similar experience for me. I was like at a bar, the whole place erupts. Like, that's like one of the best like feelings like in the world. I mean, like, everyone knows like the famous video, like it's like maybe like a pub in like London, and there's like the huge screens on it. Everyone goes crazy at the same time.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different.
They'll
videos
put
that get that.
they'll put like the DVD thing, like once it hits the corner,
Yeah.
everyone goes nuts. So
I love that.
mean, like that was the experience. But I mean, hats off to them. That was the game of the year for, I mean, probably March Madness period, any game during the college basketball season.
Not if Skip Bayless has anything to say about it.
What a douche, man.
Yeah.
And like, I hate to like waste energy on him because he's just a troll. Like, he's planning that.
His whole career has been troll.
Yeah, he just throws a grenade and is like just waiting for everybody to blow up about it. Like,
Do you think he actually believes that?
no, I don't actually. I don't. I think it's all shtick.
Oh my god.
I think it's all shtick. But lucky shot, like, for those of you who don't know, I mean, Skip Bayless basically said, how can that be one of the greatest tournament games ever if it ended on a lucky shot?
So
like, I don't
asinine.
understand. Like, yeah, maybe he banked it in, but that was a form jumper for the most part. It wasn't like a baseball heave. Like, it was a complete prayer. I mean, you practiced that shot.
It was money. It was money
Yeah,
right
you
off the
practiced that
glass.
shot.
I think the better way to go with those shots is off the glass, because you know you gave it a chance, and if you leave it short, you're going to be questioning things for the
Right.
rest of eternity.
I mean, Gordon Hayward, similar situation. Like, he went off the
gosh.
backboard, and it just barely.
Another all-time national championship.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. That would have been elevated so much more if that shot went in.
Yeah, I remember they did like the sports science on that when
I was just about to say that.
ESPN
What's
was still
that guy's
doing that.
name?
They missed it. I think he missed by like an inch.
Yeah,
An inch
like
lower, it goes in.
John something. I can't remember his last name, but you're right. Like, if Gordon Hayward, if it were a quarter of an inch more off the glass, this would have fallen.
I used to watch those all the time.
Oh, I mean, because I feel like it was like in its heyday when we were like probably like between 12 and 14.
Yeah,
We would
that's
actually
true.
like find that.
Imagine if they could do one on Bryson DeChambeau nowadays. That'd be pretty wild. They pretty much do that now already.
Yeah, I mean his garage house, whatever you call it, is practically sports science.
Yeah.
He brings the track man around with him on the practice rounds. I heard today.
You saw the video. You sent it. I think you sent the video, right, of him and his boys when they did that crazy thing in the workout room. Like,
I mean, it wasn't like they knew they were kidding too, which is kind of funny. Like it was like supposed to be cringe, and it was like funny because they knew they were being cringe.
Yeah, it was super.
Because like you could tell, like he was on like a leg curl machine, and like there was no weight on it because he was just like throwing it up like it was like nothing. It's like 10 pounds.
I'm starting to embrace the nerd a little bit. At first, it was like, just this guy is too much.
I love him. I think
love is a strong word.
It is. I think he is cool.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
We'll maybe get into that a little bit later because as March Madness is wrapping up, it is Masters Week, which is pretty exciting. Pretty exciting, even for like a novice fan of the tour like myself. This one I get excited for every year. I've got to lock a lineup in tonight for a pool with my boys. So
I have a few lineups I need to lock in.
I'm looking forward to that. But I mean, getting back to the tournament, obviously we saw the crazy ending with Gonzaga ending UCLA's Cinderella run, if you will. I mean, an 11 seed that played in a play-in game, even though they are a storied program.
I mean, they still put up 90.
Yeah,
I know. And
That's
everyone was saying like before that Gonzaga game, they're like, weren't really giving UCLA much of a shot, but they were every analyst was like, UCLA will have to score 75 to beat
sure as hell
Gonzaga.
didn't.
They'll have to score 75 to beat them, have any chance. And I mean, they did.
It was back and forth.
Yeah.
And that's what
Back
made
and
it.
forth.
It was a absolute slugfest title fight.
It was amazing.
I mean, the kid for UCLA, Cody Riley, I think was he shot like 60% from the field. That's like uncharacteristic of him.
Headband.
Everything he was throwing up was going in.
Jaquez,
Jaime.
he's a dog.
He's a good player.
They were making making shots in some one-on-one situations where I was just like, I put a teaser together that I thought was bulletproof. I mean, Gonzaga, I think, had only one win this season, less than 10 points, and it was beginning of the year, I think, against West Virginia.
That is correct. Yeah.
Some game, and I was like, okay, I'll tease them down to 9.5. I feel pretty good about this. They've been dominating all tournament, and what do you know? I spoil it rotten, just like I do. I've been off lately. Let's be honest. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's been pretty bad.
Remember I took them
We're
at
bouncing
14.5.
Yeah, you sure did. That was even
That
worse.
was brutal.
We're gonna bounce back.
That was the
though.
UCLA game.
Yeah,
I
we'll
can
bounce
hardly
back.
remember the line at this point.
We're bouncing back this Masters
Doesn't
weekend.
matter.
We'll talk about our picks later.
Yes.
But Tanner, if you had to rank that buzzer beater, where would you put it? In March Madness. Let's go with March Madness.
Okay.
There's a few.
Okay.
There's a few I can think of. Obviously,
yeah, no, it can't be ahead of Chris Jenkins for me just because it's to win the goddamn national championship game. Like, they really don't get any bigger than that. So I feel like that is on a pedestal by itself. But, there's some others that were in, different rounds.
was Leitner was a Final Four game, right?
Leitner was ooh.
Are you looking it up, Aubrey?
My trivia is a little bit off on this.
Damn.
I know that it wasn't. I know it wasn't a championship game, and it was Final Four or Elite Eight, and something in the back of my mind is saying that it was Elite Eight. But I mean that's incredible. Just for Grant Hill, obviously, to get that pass into him, like that's pretty hard thing to do in itself. I know he's thrown to a 6'11" target,
right?
But for him to come down with that, turn around, drain it. That is one that's obviously stuck in a lot of people's minds.
And then
so
obviously NC State, the Jimmy V team, at the end of that game, to win. I
mean that's another winning a championship, but it gets a little bit of an asterisk just because it was an air ball.
Yeah,
it was an air ball that Lorenzo Charles.
It could have went down as one of the worst moments in college basketball history. It ended up being the greatest moment just by just the snap of the finger.
Yep.
What about
head on a swivel?
Mario Chalmers, KU?
I mean, that's a pretty good
That's
one
gotta
too.
be up
That
there.
is pretty good.
Did that forced overtime?
It forced overtime.
Yeah.
It was
they went to
not a
steamroll
go.
in OT.
It was not a go ahead bucket, but it was a buzzer beater at the end of regulation. So
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that was the last time a Big 12 team and won the national championship. You
2008.
can refer
You're
back
correct.
to episode 1 where I threw out the stat. All right? And guess what? You just talk it into existence, baby. Big 12 comes home with the ship. You're welcome. Nice work, Baylor.
What did we think about that game? I mean, it was just pretty much an old-fashioned ass whooping.
I honestly think
That's
that those
a nice way to say it.
I actually think that those teams are closer than the outcome, but Baylor just had something they were doing.
They couldn't miss from
They
the
were doing
three-point.
PEDs in the locker room or something because they came out firing. They couldn't miss either.
No.
Like Butler, is that the guy who won the player of the tournament?
I actually didn't hear player of the tournament if they had released that or anything.
Some guy was splashing threes. Davion Mitchell's a beast. I mean, that
Yeah.
whole team. And they got into actually some serious foul trouble at the end of the game, but they were up by so many points it didn't even matter.
Yeah, they're bigs.
They're too big, yeah.
Number 23, I won't even attempt to
Flo
pronounce.
Thamba?
Well, Flo Thamba was had like a single digit or 11.
He was he fouled out with
0.
like 6
Yeah,
minutes
he
left.
fouled
Yeah.
out, but 23 has got like kind of the baby dreads.
Yep.
He had him and Thamba had 4 fouls at the same time, but I honestly think you have to give the game ball or at least one of them to the senior. 11. What was his name?
This is bad that we don't know.
It's escaping me because I was just talking about it.
Is it it's not the mullet guy, right?
No, not the mullet guy. Number 11, 6'5", center.
Dude, they're so deep.
Bahanan or whatever?
This is why we
No.
don't know.
What are you
This is why we don't know the
talking
names because that team is so deep. So give us a break.
He's got like
They
a
got
name.
8 starters.
Vital. I
Yes.
knew it was.
He-
It was
yes,
like
he's
his
been
name
pla-
was a word.
Yeah, because he's been playing there for a while.
Yeah, he was a
He
senior.
goes hard.
He does.
He's
And
a little bit
I was-
undersized at his position too.
He doesn't play like it.
No.
When they heard him say he's a little undersized at 6'5", he plays like he's 6'10", and you honestly couldn't even tell that he was 6'5" watching those games. I was kind of surprised to hear that he was that short.
Yeah.
As far as a big man,
They got him in the post game presser in a press conference, and he basically said, "Yeah, like we kicked the shit out of him."
Hell yeah, I like
Talk
the
it.
I like the
You can
the
talk now that you
confidence,
want.
man.
Yeah, I mean that was, but yeah, it was pure dominance.
Okay, you're talking about, is it Vital or Vital?
Vital. Yeah.
Vital.
Yeah.
Vital. Don't you think
Vital?
Vital would have an E at the end?
I don't know. Vital.
Well, like Dick
Or am I-
Vitale.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'd probably.
I don't know if you saw
Vital.
his tweet. There was like 8 minutes left in the game, and he was like, "Baylor's gonna be tough to beat." And everyone's like, "Well, yeah, man." There's
No
8
shit.
minutes left in the national championship. They're
Dude,
like kicking the shit
Him
out of
and
him.
Lee Corso are just so comparable to each other in their
know.
own sports.
I think Dickie V's got a little bit more marbles.
He does.
left
He
than,
does.
than poor Lee. I mean, those guys, they got them propped up.
Oh my God! I just college game days when they're putting out their picks. I just always see Herb Street just cracking a smile
know.
whenever, because he loves Lee, but in the back of my mind he knows, he's like, man, this guy just lost it.
Yeah,
He's barely getting words out. But we love Lee Corso. He's just getting a little up there. But yeah, I think they're just almost identical in comparison to what they do for each sport and how they announce and their history. But yeah, I was
off to
super
Baylor.
impressed with Baylor. You know what? I wasn't too bad. I picked Baylor to win the national championship before the Final Four started at like plus 350 odds, and I think you got something similar to that too, right?
if you got that before the Final Four started, I'm a little upset because I did it before the Elite Eight, and they were only
Might have to switch books.
plus
bro.
285.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I
Those are
got
hell of
steal.
odds. But yeah, no, I was happy. I would see the future cashed, and yeah, it was stress free Monday night, despite the 9:20 tip.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was
it's
Coast.
so rough.
F that, dude.
But after the game was over, guess what I've been watching? And I finished.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh,
Ding, 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 ding,
There we
ding.
go. There we go.
I was already up and all jazzed.
It's the
I was like,
coach
oh, the
show.
game. So I just was like, hey, Cole, you want to stay up even later and watch Ted Lasso?
Yes.
I
Why
finished
not?
it. I finished it.
Yeah.
I almost cried. I was like, I'm ready for season 2.
Oh my gosh.
I am
dude.
too. I know they've been filming it.
That show
12
hits
episodes this time.
That show hits every emotion in your body.
Yeah, it's just we talked
have.
about it
I
before.
can
And now
keep- I can talk about-
now Aubrey's a believer. It
Well,
is
I also love he's
it's-
originally from Kansas. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay.
Cole Shane, actually, who I just did my previous interview with that we put out, episode 4. You guys should go and watch it. It's a good interview.
I just listened to it. Hell of an interview.
And thank you very much. I feel like I'm getting better. better facilitator, but that's besides the point. I told him, I was like, yo, just from a coaching perspective, I think you would love Ted Lasso. So I'm trying to, I'm continuing to spread it.
Yes.
It's
It's
contagious.
so
It's contagious.
Oh, I know.
good.
It's a loaded recommendation because you've got a winner. Like if like we
no
said,
doubt,
you've got a winner
I
that
would
everyone's gonna like.
question my like friendship with
That's
someone if
absolutely.
they literally said
You're like,
that
I
was
didn't like
terrible.
it.
If you
I'd
don't
be
like Ted Lasso,
eh.
you are fucking miserable. You are miserable.
hate everything. Sorry, I know that was very off topic, but
No, beautifully
I
off
was
topic.
just so excited to A, tell you, and B, I was just so hyped up on sports, and I was kind of sad that March Madness was actually over. So I'm like, what could like bring me back to like happiness? And
Yeah.
it was old Ted.
There you go. That's
I
like
love him.
Old Ted Lasso's
Yeah.
Kansas.
His mustache just gets me.
It's great.
I don't know.
It is.
That's
He's
gonna
so
be the
great.
that will forever be.
That could be your Halloween
Jason
costume.
Sudeikis could star in a bunch of other roles, and I think that will still forever be his best role.
He's
And
just
it's only
so-
been one season. There's 2 more seasons coming.
Yeah, they've already
So-
confirmed. Trust me, I did all the Googling.
all the Googling.
Yep.
Yeah.
You already know. But speaking of mustaches, Timmy
Timmy.
Gonzaga.
Yeah. Oh, he's
I
got
liked
a. Oh,
Oh, dude, that was such an L when he did this out when they were down 15 points. They had no shot of coming back.
I don't even like. I saw you put that in the notes. I don't even remember him doing that
it
when
was
they
there.
were down.
It was there. I'll have our boy Stone come find that and put it in there.
I was kind of a fan of it every game other than that one though.
it was
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, it was
like a lot of
I
people
liked
were
it
like,
too.
"Oh, I never seen anybody like miserable people." Were like, "Oh, never seen anybody celebrate after every made basket." Like Timmy, I was like, "All right, man.
That's
Like,
so- it was
just let
kinda-
the man have his moment."
It's got some drip to it for sure, but it was just so funny that he did it in a game where they were being absolutely dominated. I can't remember. It might have been at the second half. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they were down 15 points, and there was no signs of them really coming back. And I don't know if he did it to like try and hype up. Would this get you jacked up? Like
Maybe.
like
Maybe
that,
it's
like
just-
down 15.
maybe it's just his
Maybe he
Perhaps.
thought
I
that
don't
was
know.
gonna. Maybe he thought that was that
Cheer him up
what
a
was.
little bit.
Oh my gosh. Maybe he thought that was gonna light the fire, but clearly.
I mean,
did
someone
not.
had to try something.
No one was putting out
Yeah.
that Baylor fire that night. They were coming, bro. They were coming hard.
They weren't. And I know a lot of people have talked about
I
the.
hope people don't try and make a sexual joke about what I just said.
Oh, they were coming.
Well, now they will because
Now they
you
might.
said that word.
Now they might.
Jesus
Sorry, I didn't mean
Christ.
to break your train of thought. That's where my brain.
but we obviously saw a lot of pros on the court in that game.
Yes.
Suggs,
A few.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But some other people,
First round draft picks.
some other people, I feel like either hurt or helped their stock potentially.
I'd agree.
Davion Mitchell stock is through the roof right now, though. Kid's a dog.
Once again, referred to episode 1. Coleman Taggart, your co-host, name drops Davion Mitchell as a dog in
Oh.
episode 1.
I mean, he is like an NBA
Maybe he
GM's
listened.
dream.
Dude,
Backup point guard. I think that's like his floor in the NBA.
You like a 6 man of the year kind of guy?
like a Patrick Beverly that can score a little bit more because he's definitely got those clamps.
Okay, dude, he can bounce though. He can dance with the ball.
Yeah,
He's got I don't know. I'd see him a little bit more as when he first comes into the league. Yes, I think he could develop into a prominent role because I think he's a good leader.
Yeah.
He led. I'd say with all of there was some very good. Granted, a very good team surrounding him, but I think he was the leader on that team, knowing that he'd be bringing the ball up 80% of the time.
Oh, 100%. There's a reason they announced his name last
very good.
very good
when
when
they
call out the starting lineup.
I'm excited to see him to move on. Donovan Mitchell actually was wearing his jersey, I think, before one of his games the other night, because someone I think accidentally mistaken Davion for Donovan Mitchell, and it kind of just stuck.
I mean, it couldn't be any more close. DM,
it's pretty close.
40, both were 45. So
Yeah.
It's close, but yeah, I'd say Davion Mitchell's stock through the roof. I'd say, I don't know. Was he a first rounder prior to this? Because guess what, Corey Kispert was ranked as a higher draft prospect than Davion Mitchell, and I thought that was absolutely ridiculous when I found that out.
Kispert being a lottery pick is just kind of a head scratcher to me.
Lottery pick? That's what they have him as?
Yeah.
He does give off kind of like some Kyle Korver vibes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's far more athletic than any of those people that you would probably try to compare him to. Joe Harris is a fairly good athlete, but I think Kispert's an even better athlete than him.
Yeah.
I actually think if he finds the right team, he could be, a pretty well accomplished pro.
Yeah. Just a sharpshooter.
Yeah, and
no dribbles necessary.
Right, and he's shown that he's got some athleticism to his game too. Yeah. So I'm not saying obviously he's got the size as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad basketball player. I'm just saying I think Davion Mitchell is a better basketball player than he is.
Probably true.
So to have him ranked higher, I think is outrageous. But I think the eyes are open. I think people recognize that. I agree. I think, with his skill set, Kispert, that's got the NBA written all over. That's the NBA game. Mm-hmm. Shoot the three, make the three.
Yeah,
quickly.
I don't know if we ever see Timmy on an NBA floor.
Was he ever was he ever planning on it? Was he ever?
He's only a sophomore, which I actually didn't realize.
Oh, okay.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's only a sophomore. I didn't know that.
He's got nice.
So we have
he's
a
got
couple
good
more
feet.
years of the stash.
We got a couple more. We got like 2 more years of the stash.
They'll be around. Gonzaga will be around. They'll always be around.
They always will.
We're gonna see them.
Haven't missed a tournament since '99.
Something to kind of go off of that too. We're always gonna see Gonzaga. They're always probably gonna dominate that conference, but after them getting the number 1 overall seed, do you think this kind of raises some red flags for the selection committee on whether they think, let's say Gonzaga goes undefeated again in a conference that's not as good, they don't play as many good teams, do you think they kind of okay, wait, let's maybe pump the brakes here?
I'm not gonna overreact to them pretty much getting their asses kicked by Baylor in the national championship game, because there's no two ways around it. The WCC that they play in, it's weak as shit. You're playing Pepperdine, Pacific.
You didn't have much control over an outer conference schedule this year either.
You did. They had the game against Baylor canceled. They had a game against Tennessee, who was a preseason top 15 team, canceled. Mm-hmm. They did beat UVA. They did beat Iowa. They did beat West Virginia. So, you definitely have to give them some props. They're not, as a program, scared to schedule those out-of-conference games early on, but you get into the dog days of your schedule, and do you get soft playing weaker competition for such a long time, leading right up into the tournament? I think they were probably deserving the number 1 overall seed this year. Are they going to look at them maybe a little bit differently as the year goes on? Maybe not, but. Illinois, who was my national championship pick,
and
they were a number 1 seed, and they lost in the second round to an 8 in Loyola Chicago. So, it's March. It's March.
I agree. I think those bigger games that they played were at the beginning of the season, correct?
Yes.
So they got the big games out of the way. Then they move on to an easier schedule, and then as the number 1 overall seed. More often, I think you just get the easiest draw out of those games too. So you play a 16 seed. The best team I think they played all tournament was USC before they got to Baylor.
Yeah, them are Creighton.
So they didn't really get tested, and then they had to show up in this heavyweight match, and Baylor smoked because Baylor, the Big 12, is a very, very good basketball conference. They're playing tournament teams every single night.
Yeah,
they were prepared for that.
They're a different kind. They were a different kind of animal than USC.
Dude, I felt bad for Jalen Suggs, man. That's the hard part about sports. Only one team can win, and the best player on the floor. He still put up 20 plus, I think, in a game that they were trailing all game. They run such a. Team
Timmy quietly had 15.
They did. They run such a team offense, though. At the end of the game, I'm like, all right, just try and let Jalen Suggs play a little hero ball. Just give the ball to your best player, and they're playing team offense, and I get that. But, at some point, when you're down 15 with 10 minutes left, just try and do something different. It's clearly not working.
Yeah.
And give the ball to your best player. And, best luck to him onto the next level, but definitely feel bad for him, for sure. That's a tough L, especially after going – imagine going undefeated all year.
It is. And I know we were talking about that being, one of the best games in tournament history. Are we going to forget about it a little bit because they didn't win?
I think that shot was so iconic.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
I think we'll actually almost maybe remember it more. Because of what it did, and then how I hate to say how they played poorly. I just think they played a better team.
They ran into a team that was better on that night. I would be interested to see what would happen in a 5-game series. What would happen in a 7-game series?
That'd be so sick.
Between those two. I don't know what would
More
happen.
basketball.
Yeah, I know. Like, we're not going to get that, and the tournament's great because it is one and done.
Absolutely.
But I won't completely dog Gonzaga. I think they just straight up ran into a team that was locked in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were like 5 for 5 on threes in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, the game was over after in the first.
They hadn't missed a single three.
In the first 5 minutes, the game was over.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like. And
how can you beat a team that just? I mean, you can, but that's hard.
Well, and one thing I want to say before we move on, defense wins championships and always will. Always.
100%.
Gonzaga comes in with the best ranked offense, better defense shows up. Granted, I actually think more often than not, better offense beats better defense in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up against the best offense in the NFL, dominate. Baylor against Gonzaga, dominate. I remember when Cam Newton was coming in as the MVP, and I think they had the number 1 offense in the NFL, and they went up against the number 1 defense in the NFL in the Broncos and got absolutely smoked. So
see it happen all the time.
Yep.
See it happen all the time.
Defense wins championships.
See it happen all the time.
It's a winning formula.
Yep. I'll also, before we move on, give a little clap it up to friend of the pod, Isaac Wright. Court looked awesome.
Oh, yes. Looked
Court
amazing.
Looked awesome.
Yes.
Great job to him and everyone on that team putting that on for start of the Big Ten tournament until the end of the game Monday night, and I'm sure there was some cleanup involved as well.
I'm sure he kicked back and had a couple beers. Though,
yeah,
too.
rest up, buddy. Rest up.
Most deserved beers.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Also, another episode to go check out too. Was that episode? Was that episode 3? Am I getting those right?
3 or 4, but
it was 3.
I think it is. I think it is. Might be titled. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out Isaac. He and his team, everybody involved over at Indianapolis, did a phenomenal job. It's great.
Ready to run it back? No, not really.
They're always hosting at some point in the tournament, right? I mean, they've had so many Final Fours.
They do. I don't know necessarily how much they use Lucas Oil Stadium, but it's been a regional site a lot, and I think they might be in the Pacers Stadium when they do that. But
we're gonna go to a Final Four one of these days.
Yeah.
You ever been?
I've never been.
Bucket list. RV.
Bucket list for sure.
RV.
My dumbass was looking at Airbnbs in Minneapolis the year Tennessee lost to Purdue. So I thought it was a real possibility.
Do you feel responsible for?
No, I mean I don't feel responsible. It was something that you don't miss if you're a fan. So us and a couple guys, we're putting some feelers out there, just some feelers.
It's not as bad as
we had
a tattoo.
Yes, we had the team. We had the team that could have done it. Yeah, the team that could have done it. Fair. I dipped my toe in the water. Why not?
It's fair.
But obviously that didn't work out. But maybe one day. It will
happen one day. You got to manifest it.
Yes, it will.
I love that word, manifest.
Manifest.
Yes, but for those of you who do follow us on social media, specifically Instagram, we did have a Bleacher Bums Bracket Challenge.
That's correct.
Woo!
And I'm very excited.
I'm pissed
to announce that one of my good friends, Kendra Crippen, she's also a fellow Kansan.
Shout out Kendra.
Yes.
She crushed it.
Nice work, Kendra.
She was 2 points away from having a perfect Final Four, but UCLA broke the hearts of Michigan.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, she did a phenomenal job. And I think our boy Stoney, our producer, Anthony Jimenez, would have won if Gonzaga won. So
it was between them two.
Honestly,
really?
I'm bummed out. I didn't do that great. I didn't pick the national championship, which I feel like is actually like just because usually a number 1 or a number 2 seed usually wins that. Mm-hmm. So for me to not even come close to that, Oklahoma State, and I
had Gonzaga
destroyed.
Baylor, and remember I picked. Not that this has.
I got too cute. I got cute, man. That's where
it happens.
That's cute.
It happens.
Wow. Hey.
But she did win a $100 Amazon gift card, so you will be getting that soon.
What would you do with the $100 Amazon gift card?
With a $100 Amazon gift card?
Right now, like gun to your head. What are you buying?
Gun to your head.
Jesus,
I could do like a
I don't know.
$5,000.
There's so many.
Gun to your head, Tanner.
It's so broad. I don't know.
What do you
can
need?
buy anything there.
You're dead.
I don't really need anything. I don't know. I'd probably get some swag.
I don't know.
Some Ted Lasso stuff.
I think is $100 enough for a Lululemon sweatshirt?
It's probably like 109.
No.
I don't know if they sell it on there.
All right,
or not.
I'm throwing out feelers.
I know. Well, the only thing
What do you think Kendra's gonna get with the $100 Amazon gift card? Some Kansas City Chiefs gear?
Probably.
The only things I shop for on there, I feel like, are like phone cases and like knick-knacky stuff.
Like what Amazon started on?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, books.
I always get Denver stuff. I just got him like a toy puzzle, all the things. He's too spoiled. He's also right here.
Yes.
Aww.
Denver's back.
So cute he is. Back.
Anthony, this is the part where Denver gets put into the podcast. We'll put up a cute picture of him just so everybody knows how cute Aubrey and I's dog is.
Very, very good boy.
So
like the most well behaved.
We might be putting him to sleep though. He sleeps through all of our podcasts.
He sleeps all the time.
No, he does.
Don't sell ourselves short here.
I'm only joking.
We're good. What do you mean? Congrats,
Kidding,
Kendra.
but yes.
Yeah, good work, Kendra.
She deserved it.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, she was like low, and then she
Kendra
popped up.
Kendra doesn't work in HR, does she?
No.
I was just about to follows basketball a little bit though.
Yes.
Oh, she follows sports.
Fan.
I mean, she's Kansas City sports till she dies.
Through and through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Huge
I'm
sports
glad it was
fan.
one of our own because we did promote it a little bit, put it out there on Twitter, and there were a couple names on there that I could tell were completely random.
Yeah.
But I love that because they must follow us, which.
Yeah, or they wanted a shot at $100 Amazon gift card. Maybe we'll
risk free. I mean, it was literally free money.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Glad it went to one of our own.
Yeah.
Good work, Kendra.
She's excited. I text her. Well, funny story. She didn't even get to watch most of the game because she was flying back from Kansas to Denver.
Oh.
She was probably so
that
chill.
confident. No, but she woke up the next morning and checked to see who won, and she's like, "Oh."
Honestly,
cash it.
I don't think I've ever even come close to winning one of these things.
A March Madness bracket. I've never won one. Never won a fantasy football league.
Once you win one, I feel like just retire. You don't need to do one again. You've already won.
I've had a couple runner-ups in fantasy football leagues.
I'd be pretty hyped if I won my Masters pool.
That would be hype. I haven't won any of those, dude.
All right, Masters.
Manifest. I will win.
Masters starts tomorrow.
Oh, Thursday, April 8th.
Say it again.
Tomorrow.
One more time.
Tanner, you got this one.
Tomorrow. I feel like Ham and Sandlot. Forever.
Yes, that was perfect.
Forever.
Well, anyhow,
tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. This is with March Madness, it's up there with best sporting event of the year.
I would agree. I would agree.
I'd give March Madness the edge just because it's more days.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, crap, man. The Masters is unreal.
Second one in 6 months?
That's the better part. Yeah, they should just do it every 6 months now.
I don't know. I think we can kick November to the curb.
That would ruin the record books anyways.
This feels a little bit more real than it did back then.
Mm-hmm.
I think you probably agree. The one in November was one of my friends at Falls.
They went pretty low in November. They had some good.
One of my
sports.
friends, Nick Norris, who follows golf quite a bit. He's known to have some hot takes. He says that DJ should have been given a green vest, not a green jacket.
Oh gosh.
That's straight from his mouth.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
Is it like a almost like an interim belt? Is that like what that is?
He's saying there should be an asterisk because there were no fans. That's his story, and he's sticking to it.
Well, guess what? I almost hope DJ shows up and shoves it up his hoop now in this one.
I mean, he is the odds-on favorite to win, isn't he?
If anyone's gonna run it back, it's gonna be DJ. And I was thinking about this earlier. If you play well at that tournament, you pretty much play well there every time. And I think DJ could be the kind of guy that could be a face we see. Like, I think he can win this tournament five or six times.
And very interesting.
I really don't think that's even that hot of a take. When he's playing his best golf, he's the best golfer on tour. And I it's hard for me to say that because when Rory McIlroy plays his best golf, he should be the best golfer on tour, but he can't show up on Sunday. He can't show up on Sunday. He plays 3 rounds. And that's why he hasn't won a major in a while. And I like we said earlier in episode 1, I hope these guys prove me wrong. I hope they do. Rory's got one of the most beautiful swings I've ever seen. It's made out. It's literally unbelievable. It's perfect. It's the most perfect swing ever. But I mean, DJ could be a repeat guy without a doubt, easily.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I'm looking forward to watching it.
Well, who you got?
Who's your? Let's everyone do like top 2, like not top 2, like they come in first and second. But if you get 2 picks for your winner.
Okay. So I was kind of looking at the field, looking at the odds, and if I wanted to be safe, I'd say that John Rahm was probably due. If I'm gonna pick someone at the top, but
You stole my pick.
everybody, I won't necessarily call that my pick, but everyone kind of in this 30-1 to 45-1 range is kind of jumping out at me as a value play.
Okay.
Which is what you kind of like
Hit
to
me.
do with these golf. Morikawa, 30-1.
Shut up. Is he really?
30-1 odds. And I'm stealing this from
I
some
didn't
people that I talked to.
I didn't scroll far enough to even see that.
Right. But, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, he's probably the best with his irons on tour right now.
He is, but he won a tournament recently. He hasn't I don't think he's played great the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, things can change pretty quickly.
Right.
But with the way how fast this course is playing, I mean, I saw a picture of the greens. It looks crispy. It looks so fast.
Yeah, no, it'll play like normal
And
Augusta.
you need to. This is a second shot golf course. Bryson DeChambeau can hit his driver as far as he wants, and it'll work on the majority of golf courses. And this course actually plays well for longer hitters, but you have to come prepared with the second shot, and it's got to be dialed in. And Morikawa, when he's on, his irons are the best, without a doubt. Morikawa's your long shot. Who else?
Long shot-ish. There's people with even more.
It's crazy that you call him a long shot, but that's only just because
Right.
of his odds.
I mean, and it is just because of his odds. Like, if you're going down the line, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, he is the 11th best odds to win.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got that going for him. But people around him, I like Sung Jae to maybe do something.
Sung Jae Im.
Like Sung Jae Im to maybe do something.
Okay.
Like, that's someone I would maybe consider,
Good
placing
player.
like a top 10 finish bet on.
Yeah.
And then
He's been on the hunt in all these tournaments. Yeah.
He has. I think the last major we had, he was finished top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I know you mentioned there are players that once you play well at Augusta, it's just kind of a calling card.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bubba top 10 plus 550
That's a top for a top 10.
for a top 10 finish plus
Dude,
550
You should see
is
the cleats he's rocking.
kind of interesting.
He's got a Jordan pair for the Masters that he's wearing.
He's a big basketball fan.
Yeah.
He's a big basketball fan.
I love Bubba. 2-time winner at the Masters, lefty, an inspiration of mine. I mean, I hope he does. Again, like, history often repeats itself at this golf course with multiple winners, and you look at the leaderboard, and the top 10 it's pretty similar every year. I think Finau can make a run. Like, he's been in the hunt. Guy needs to win a tournament at some point. I don't know if this is going to be the one. I'm not saying this is going to be the one, but Finau, I could go down the list of 15 golfers that could potentially win this tournament, and it's so exciting because that's how stacked this field is. Me personally, I like your John Rahm pick. I don't know if you know, he just had a kid.
I do know. I did see that.
He just had a daughter.
A daughter.
A daughter. And he did say that if his daughter was born, let's say on a Wednesday or a Thursday of the Masters, he wasn't going to play. But by the grace of God.
Yep. She
by
knew.
The grace of God.
Is it fate?
Is it fate? She was born on, was it Sunday or Monday? Yeah, it was Sunday.
Yeah,
It was
something
Sunday.
like that.
So, I mean, not that I know, I'm not a father.
Right.
I'm not a father. But the last time somebody won after having a kid, his name was Danny Willett, who beat Jordan Spieth only because Jordan Spieth had the most massive collapse in probably golf history at the Masters. But there's like a juju or like some type of freedom or mindset that you have after having a kid. It's just like the world is like your oyster. It's just there for you, and you just know the answers to everything. That's what I hear. That's what my dad said.
That's very interesting. Very interesting.
I love the John Robb pick. I think he'll be light on his feet. I think it'll almost be like, I feel like he won't care as much because there's so many other things to care more about. His daughter being the highest of priorities along with his wife.
Yeah.
So I think there's just a new perspective, and I think he showed up this morning. I think he actually got in last night.
Really?
He played like 9 holes today. He knows the golf course.
Right.
He knows. I think he's gonna be feeling free. I think he's gonna play well. Justin Thomas is out of my picks, I think he has the best chance to win. If you go look at his natural progression over the years, I think he was like 39th, 17th, 11th, and then 4th in the most recent majors. So he's trending upwards. He just won the Players. There's only been a couple of guys that have won the Players and the Masters in the same year, Tiger Woods being one of them. I think he's, again, when he's on, he's right up there with DJ, best players in the world. And I think he's ready to win another major. So I'd love to see JT win. He's one of my favorite golfers. John Rahm, I'd be happy with either because I win regardless because I put money out there. Don't take my picks, please. Those are mine.
Or do.
What do we think about Jordan Spieth, though? I mean, he's coming in super hot, and everybody and their mother is now betting on Jordan Spieth, which I love. I'd love to see Jordan Spieth win, but everybody's on the train. Usually that's when when everybody's zigging, you zag.
Yep. I don't know. Like, maybe he doesn't even make the cut. Who knows?
It could be it.
Yeah.
And everybody's just going to be so let down. I mean, we don't want to see that. We want to see Jordan in it because that makes for good golf and good TV. I think actually someone that could miss the cut is Brooks Koepka. Guy's pushing it right now.
Coming off a knee
He can't
surgery.
even bend down to look at his putt. He's putting his leg out because he had just had knee surgery.
Yeah, we don't. We have no idea how healthy he is.
Clearly he's not that healthy. And I'd hate to see him get injured again. But I don't. Again, you play that golf course well. You usually play it well again. He knows the course. He's super alpha. Like he's super confident in himself, and he knows what he needs to do to get the job done. I just don't know if that knee's going to affect him. But again, I hope he proves me wrong. But I think Koepka could be on miss the cut watch.
Interesting.
Guess we'll see.
Yeah. Someone we're missing though.
My picks?
No. Well, your picks. I was going to say we're missing somebody from this tournament, but give me your picks.
Well, I get to do 3.
Oh, you got 3 picks. You got top 3?
Yeah.
Any specific order?
Nope.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Okay.
Well, Bryson.
Aubrey.
Interesting.
I couldn't be more against this pick.
I know you hate it.
No,
but,
it's not. No. I don't think this is his tournament.
Well,
personally.
We'll see. So I like him just because, like I said earlier, I just like him.
Just because he's got big man boobs.
I think a lot of people are. Would you say he's good for the game right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would. I'm on the good.
See?
People are I think kind of they're excited to watch him.
I think he's exciting.
Like the crowd that he drew at Bay Hill, like I mean that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I don't know if you ever talked about it on the show or not, but I mean that's something that you haven't seen on tour for a while. Like people wanting to follow him.
Yeah. No, it kind of reminds me of it's like a baseball, like the home runs. You know what I mean? Just hitting bombs. Like
right.
That's what brings in the crowd, and Bryson is bringing in a new crowd to the game, and he's bringing a different taste, a different aspect to the game, and I think it's phenomenal. My take is that he got his ass kicked last time he was at this tournament.
I hear your take.
At a course that wasn't as difficult as it's going to be this time around.
I hear your take.
Maybe he's mentally prepared this time.
Well, the golf gods slapped the hell out of him because he came in there and he's like, oh, this is a par 67 for me. So that basically means I'm going to shoot 5 under every time I play it.
Yeah.
And the golf god said, hold up a minute, bro. Shut your mouth. Put your money where your mouth is. And he went out, and I think he was like plus 10 one day.
Yeah.
I remember looking up, and I was like, holy shit, he's really blowing it. So if he cannot put the driver in the fairway, he will struggle, and he won't make the cut. That's just what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, he's still my pick.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
There's got to be some sort of like banter, like disagreement, and I couldn't disagree
I feel like
more. I love you, but I just
gets
think
a lot of hate. He gets a lot of hate. People are like,
I think
oh,
Cole thinks he's. Like,
I think he's
I don't
jealous
know.
of how far he
I won't
can drive
use
the
the word
ball.
gimmick, but is he flashing the pan right now?
Who, Bryson?
Is he like kind of like Yasiel Puig when he was lighting the world on fire?
No, but I mean, dude, did you see there's a video of Bryson on the range and VJ Singh is watching.
Yeah, I did
Here
see
he
this.
is
And-
hating on Bryson, but the
and-
other day he literally said, "I want to do a day in the life of Bryson DeChambeau. I'm gonna eat like him. I'm gonna work out like him. I'm gonna go to the golf course like him." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you really hate the guy. You
That-
want to
yeah,
do
but
it
I would
back."
probably just like pass out and fall asleep
Those-
if I tried
I'm
to
like,
eat
you're
as
gonna
much
eat
as he
so
eats.
much.
Those two have no connection though.
I'm just saying.
No, they don't.
You.
I don't have to like him, and
Right.
I've told you guys 100 times I'm warming up to him.
You are. You are warming up.
Just
to him.
saying, this tournament will constantly kick his ass if he's trying to get super cocky and hit a golf ball 430 yards. It's just
Just gonna drive.
no. You're
through.
gonna
Book it.
you will
Book
miss
it.
left and right. You will. It's going to happen.
Well, maybe he's changing his game up a little bit. We'll see. Only time will tell. I still have 2 picks left. So everyone knows I love Justin Thomas too.
with your hand?
I don't know. I was just like,
I don't know what to do.
Wait.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Okay, my other 2 picks, Justin Thomas, just because you're the one who told me about the whole he's gradually gotten better and better and
Yep.
better, and I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's hard to disagree with, and he's playing well right now. And then my last pick is Lee Westwood. I like him.
Is that a pity pick?
No.
You think he's gonna break the choke streak eventually?
Yeah.
He's getting old.
So
No, I'm just saying. I
How
think
many
That's a
Mass-
good. That's
I like it. That
I-
could be my sleeper pick.
no, I love
It
it.
is a sleeper
If
because
I-
he's
Yeah.
30-1.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
a flyer.
If I had to pick an old guy to go top 10, take a run at it, it's going to be Lee Westwood or Paul Casey. It's going to be one of those two guys who have their careers in the back half of their careers have been great. They've been good. They just, again, the win is elusive for some reason.
Wow.
And, I think one of them's going to break that. I think if you find an old guy at the top this weekend, it's going to be Paul Casey or Lee Westwood. Would love to see that, 2 Englishmen. So,
Me too.
a lock I do have, absolute lock, throw it in there. Dustin Johnson, top 10, without a doubt. No doubt in my mind. Put the brick on it. Put the mortgage on it.
might have to dabble.
Whoa.
Might have to dabble. I know the payout might not be great. I have no idea what the odds are because he's the favorite.
I haven't
to
checked.
finish top 10.
I haven't checked. I'll
I'd
have to
be
check the
interested
book.
to see what it is.
I just got my straight out winners in, and then I'll check the top 10. Damn, I got to do 2 Masters pools. I got to do a DraftKings. I'm kind of excited. Maybe I think you're going to have to drive home so I can do that. Is that cool?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lock
Okay.
Lock it in.
some lineups.
Yeah.
Lock it in. Lock
Lock
it in.
some lineups.
Thanks,
Wait,
Aubrey.
what if
Well,
I
I'd
want to
be-
do one?
I
Dang it.
you guys can just switch on the
Switch
on the
halfway?
way.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Or I can tell you what I want you to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I should have said that. Fuck. Now I have to drive.
Yeah, you do. Oh, Lord. But we have an exciting weekend ahead of us. Lots of golf.
I will be tuned in.
Dialed in.
Dialed in. Absolutely. One thing I do want to say before we sign off here.
Yeah.
That draft's coming up soon. Super excited for the NFL draft.
Yes.
We want to give you guys a little draft special. We're coming up with some cool ideas of what we can do. I think we want to record on draft day just because our teams do have first half picks in the first round.
Yeah.
I think that'd be kind of fun. And again, I think I said this in an earlier podcast. You guys would be super entertained watching me when the Giants make a stupid pick. So I don't know. It's going to be hard for them to miss on this one. There's so much talent.
And
in this draft.
watching him cry when Kyle Pitts goes at 10.
Yeah, just right before. I don't know. I'm kind of on board with one of the offensive linemen, Penei Sewell or Rashawn Slater. If they slide, if those two are gone, I like Micah Parsons, linebacker. I think those are great picks. I don't think I've seen mock drafts of receivers, and I think we're good there. We got 3 solid receivers, a 4th. They need to step in, 2 strong tight ends, but
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. Hopefully, not hopefully, but we will get details together with that.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited.
the more teams that we have represented from our listeners, the better. So
yeah, we're taking applications actually. If you think you're worthy enough to be at our draft party,
yeah, we might have to dial some people in.
$50 entry fee.
Whoa.
It's all right.
Just BYOB, but you have to bring
Yeah.
mom beers.
Yeah, Michelob Ultras only.
Mom beers
Yeah.
only.
What was that noise?
That was
don't know
my
if that was
computer.
Okay.
Got a nice little pop-up.
Threw me off.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much to listening to episode 6 of the Bleacher Bums podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.
Except for we
Cheers.
have
Beers are
no-
empty.
Till
We're
next time.
out.
Yes,
We're out of
beers are
beers.
empty.
And before you guys go, if you haven't already yet, hit that subscribe button. Like our video. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. We like feedback. But at least send me an email or something with constructive criticism, just so we can do better for you next time. I got a random thumbs down on my last interview with Cole Shane. Who the hell are you? Who's the funny guy or funny woman?
A random thumbs down. Huh?
We have beef unless you email me at ctaggart@tpowstudios.com and give you some constructive criticism. We greatly appreciate that.
Bryson's burner is going to be coming for you as well if he sees it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yes,
Lord.
don't forget to subscribe. It literally takes 2 seconds. We love you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you for your support. And we will be back soon. Peace.
Peace.